Hi, my name's Rachel, and you're watching the Lipstick Living channel where I make planning videos, lifestyle videos, and LGBT plus content. For this video today, I am setting up my bullet journal for August, and I chose sunflowers as my monthly theme because we have a nearby park. It's like 5 minutes away, and it has a huge sunflower field, and it's bloomed. Right now, it's bloomed, so they're really pretty, and it just inspired me. So I first am taking a stamp that I got from Allie Edwards. It was a um, monthly stamp kit. I think it was for the word strong. Each month she has a different word, but anyway, so I used that circular stamp and just stamped black ink onto craft paper, and then I cut out the outline, keeping the craft paper around the edging. And then I am taking my white gel pen and I'm just writing the letters to spell out August for my monthly page. So I'm just working on that right now. And I originally had thought that I was going to use these circles for the middle of the flowers, but when I spelled it out at the end, it didn't really look, it wasn't what I had imagined. It didn't, you couldn't really tell that it was spelling out August. So I play around with it for a while, and then I end up choosing a different way. I'll show you. But the smaller flower, I had cut out a smaller black circle, and then I just glued it onto craft paper so that I could still get that same effect of the craft paper being around the edging. So I just cut a smaller black circle and then glued it to that, and I'm cutting that out now because I wanted it to fit the middle of that smaller flower. I end up not doing that, but that's where I'm at right now. So now I'm trying to decide where I want to place these circles. Okay, so now I played around with that for a while, and now I'm just finishing the letters that spell out August on these little circles. And then I end up deciding that I want to do it like vertically down the page. So now I'm going in with my Micron pen in size 03, and I'm just outlining the petals of the sunflowers. So now I'm going in with my Tombow calligraphy pen. I'm not sure the name of it, but it came in a pack of two, and there was a navy one and then a green one. So this is the navy one. It has a smaller tip. So I use this one more for just tracing. But I decided that the Micron pen, it just was not dark enough, and I wanted it to be a little darker for the outline. So I am doing that right now. Okay, so after that, I go in with my Tombow brush pen in the color 025, which is like a true yellow, I would say. It comes off on the video like a marigold yellow, which is what I was shooting for, but in person it's actually a little bit brighter, so I end up having to go in a second time and color in all the petals, so you'll see that in a minute. But right now I'm just going in with my first coat. Okay, now you see that I am going in with my second coat of my Tombow brush pen. So next I go in with my Micron, my Mildliner in the shade Gold, and I just use the fine tip part. It's the Mildliner highlighters, but I use the fine tip part to outline some of the main petals of the flower. And then I'm going in with my Tombow brush pen in a dark brown. I can't see the number, so I will have to link that below, but it's just a dark brown. So I'm going in the middle with that. And then before I did that, I took my calligraphy pen and I just made some small little dots in the middle, like I'm doing right now, and then I outline it. So after doing that, then I go in with that darker brown and shade in the middle part of the flower. And then I had to do several coats of this color because it's not that dark of a brown, and I wanted it to be pretty dark for the center. And then I take this like golden yellow color. I think it's 026 is the number, but it's a Tombow brush pen as well. And I go in and just do like a little flare around the center of the flower. And then after that, I take the finer side of that brush pen and I just trace the main petals like I'm doing right now, just to give it some dimension. And then I'm lining up the letters August. I'm still playing around with what I want to do, and I end up deciding to do it vertically in the middle. And then for my quote page, I just have one sunflower, so I'm tracing that right now. And I decided that I'm just going to go straight in with the calligraphy pen. I'm not going to use the Micron pen because it was kind of a waste of time. And then after I drew that, I decided I'm going to go ahead and stick down those letters for August so that they didn't move anywhere. And I just used a regular glue stick to glue these down. I like using that in a bullet journal or crafting in general because it's not so definite. You can move it around a little bit, which I had to do because the spacing was a little off at first, but it's easy to peel up and then put back down if you're wanting to move things after you stick it. So now I am coloring in the sunflower on my quote page with that same brush pen. And now I'm filling in the center like I did before, just with some tiny little dots in the middle and then around the circle in the middle. And then I colored in with the brown brush pen, the Tombow brush pen. And then I take that golden brush pen and just do like a little flare around the center. And then I cut out these rectangular pieces of craft paper, and on one of them I stamped the black ink so that I could write with my white gel pen on top. So my quote for this month is, even on the darkest days, I will stand tall and find the sunlight, which I thought was fitting for my sunflower theme. And I just put the name sunflower on there. I thought it was cute. And then I used this craft paper that I got from an Allie Edwards subscription kit. She has a seasonal kit that you get every quarter, and this past kit was circles. That was the theme. So she's been doing different shaped circles, and that's what I went with. So I drew some little sunflowers with my white gel pen on top of those, and I think it turned out well. So now I'm moving on to my monthly calendar page. So I am just outlining my calendar with that Tombow calligraphy pen, the navy blue colored one. And I normally don't use a ruler to outline my calendar, but I don't know why for this month I just wanted it to be straight lines, so I used it. But I normally just freehand it because I don't care. And then I used a hole punch and cut out some little holes from that dotted craft paper, and I thought I would use as bullets for my monthly tasks and goals. And then for the title of the month, I usually just put the month title on the top above the calendar. So I cut out little circles of craft paper and I just take my white gel pen and write out August, and I put that above my calendar. And then I use that yellow brush pen and I just brush the top of it and write the days of the week. with that calligraphy pen from Tombow on top. And now I am using the glue stick and I'm sticking down August. And then I just put little black circles on each day. And then I go in with my white gel pen over top and just number each day on the calendar. I usually just write the number in the top corner of the box, but for this month, I thought I would go with that circle theme and just keep it going. I got really into the circles. Sorry you see me in the frame, but I can't see very well, so I have to get really close to my journal to draw in some things. So I wanted to do some little doodles on the page of sunflowers, so I went in with my pencil first and just drew out some outlines of the sunflowers behind the August letters. And over top of the craft paper with the letters on it, I used a white gel pen to fill in the flower petals, and then on the actual bullet journal page on the paper, I colored in like a normal sunflower. So I thought it looked really cool. When it overlapped on the craft paper, it's white. It's just that white gel pen. And then on the regular white paper, it's the yellow sunflower. Okay, so now I am stamping just black ink onto craft paper, and I'm using that circle stamp because I already had it out, but I'm just stamping a bunch of black on the craft paper so that I can cut out little rectangle shapes and make them as headers. And then while that dries, I am sticking down those little hole punch circles that I did to that dotted craft paper. So I'm just sticking that down with a glue stick, and then I did like a tiny little quote, if you will, at the bottom. It just says "Be the light." I thought it looked kind of blank down there, so I just wrote in "Be the light" in cursive, and I used that calligraphy pen from Tombow. And then I added in some more sunflower doodles at the bottom because I thought it was just a little bare, and I have the too much gene and can't ever stop. So okay, so now the craft paper is dry, so I cut out little rectangle shapes to write tasks and goals on. I usually make a list on my monthly calendar page of all the monthly tasks that I have coming up and the goals that I want to focus on for each month. So I'm just writing that as my headers with my white gel pen, and then I'm taking the glue stick, the handy little glue stick, and I'm gluing it down. Okay, so that page is done. Now I'm moving on to my mood tracker. I find it really interesting to look back on a month and look at my mood. My moods change quite a bit, but usually in a month, I would say more than half of the days, I'm really, really happy. So, but anyway, so I used that dotted craft paper as the middle of the sunflower for this one. I just did one big one, and then each petal is going to be a different day in the month. So I glue that down with a glue stick for the middle, and then I cut off that excess, and then I'm numbering all the petals for this sunflower right now. And then I'm using those stamped craft paper pieces for my header for this. So I just took the white gel pen and I wrote mood tracker on each little strip, and then I glued it down. And then this is my, I made little circles of like my happy faces, so from happy to like angry, and then I'll color in each petal for what mood I have that day. Which sometimes I have like all these moods in one day, so I have to pick what I'm mostly. Okay, so now I'm moving on to my habit tracker page. So I cut out little circles of the craft paper to use as my header. So I'm using my white gel pen and I'm writing habit on the little craft paper pieces. And then I just use my calligraphy pen to write out tracker underneath. And now I'm taking the glue stick and I'm gluing those little pieces down. My hair looks crazy. Okay, now I'm taking that calligraphy pen and just tracing the little sunflower doodles that I have at the bottom of the page. And then I take the thicker calligraphy pen from Tombow, the green one, to do, because it's like a thicker point. So it's a thicker like felt tip. So I use that to color in little rectangular boxes so that I can write over top of it with white gel pen my habits that I want to track. So for this month, I'm just tracking 7. Usually I do 9, but I'm just doing 7 this time, and that way I have more room for some doodles on the page. So now I'm coloring in all of those sunflowers with my brush pen. Okay, so now I am using a gel ink ballpoint pen. It's 0.5, but it's a Muji pen. Okay, so it's M-U-J-I, Muji gel pen to write out the numbers. It's a really fine point pen. It's the only one I have, so I'm using that to write in the numbers for each day. I make little monthly calendars so that I can track my habits for the month. And then I'm just adding some more sunflower doodles at the top of the page because I thought it looked a little bare. So I just added in 2 on the left side. Okay, so I am now outlining my next set of pages is my content planning. So I write out on the left side content planner, and that's where I'm going to write like any ideas of what day I'm going to post what on Instagram. And then on the right is like a mini little calendar where I will write out what I'm planning on, filming or editing or, taking pictures of, what I'm going to post on Instagram, just really anything, just to help me map it out ahead of time. This is really the first month I've done this, but I've dabbled into it before and then didn't follow it, but we will see for this month if I stick to it. So I just cut out little circles of craft paper and then wrote out planner, and then I wrote out content just in cursive with my calligraphy pen, and then I take that Muji gel pen and write out all the numbers, and then I color in every other line with that Tombow brush pen in the shade 025, the sun. I think it just gives it a little pop of color, and it makes it easier when you're writing it out. And then I take it and do little circles on top of each row and put the letter for the day of the week it is. And I do a Monday start on each calendar. And then I cut out some craft paper, like little washi tape, little rectangular pieces, and I write out video ideas with my white gel pen. And then I use the hole punch and cut out little circles of that dotted paper to use for bullets. And then that's just where I'm going to write down any video ideas that I have. And then I use some decoration. So I just cut out some circles of the dotted paper and then the black stamped craft paper and then just regular craft paper. And I draw on the stamped craft paper with my white gel pen. I just draw on some little sunflower doodles just for decoration. So I use the glue stick and I glue that down, and then I have to cut off the excess on the corners. So I'm cutting off that excess. And then now I'm moving on to my weekly layout. So for this one, I just kept it really simple because I felt like all the other pages were really detailed and there was a lot going on. So, and this week is going to be pretty busy for me. So when I have a busier week, I try to make the weekly layout very minimal, very simple, so that there's not a lot on the page, a lot going on. And that way I have more space to write down, daily tasks and appointments or reminders or events. So I just drew out little sunflower doodles, and I did, this month started on a Sunday, and usually I start my weeks on a Monday. So for this one, I just did Sunday through Sunday and did 4 days on each page. And so I did a little sunflower doodle, and then I wrote out in cursive the day of the week and did like a little line just to, block off a little section for each day. Okay, so that is my monthly setup for August. Now I'm going to flip back and just show you a little bit of each page. So here's my cover page and my quote page. And then my monthly calendar page. And then my mood tracker and habit tracker for August. And my habits are yoga, meditate, walk, read, journal, make bed, and clean. And then I go into my content planner and my video ideas. And then my weekly layout. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some inspiration for your bullet journal. Bye.